Kicking off the 16.8 milestone refinement. So I'm going to start by sharing my screen, looking at our direction page. So what we're currently working on, beta, looks like we have a spelling error to fix. So I have an update coming anyway to better align with our Q4 OKRs now that that's kicked off and get this fixed up. But we're still working towards our beta, our beta release. That is something that we want to let users opt themselves into, which is great. Additional features and improvements. So these are things that are not required to release the beta. We can release the beta with or without any of these. We won't hold the beta back for them, as we talked about before. We've already got the custom dashboard designer, visualization designer, MVCs wrapped up. So we'll be looking at small bugs that get in the way of doing those things, or real workflow problems like, hey, you can't save the same thing, or you get no notification if you try to save something after you've saved it. There's some bugs like that that we can go clean up, and then being able to delete those items as well. Those are nice quality of life improvements for our users that we should go get taken care of as we get closer to GA. Beyond that, looking at improvements of some of those single stat visualizations, making those more readable, adding more context around what you're seeing, what the time frame is, things like that. And then giving users a way to query the custom event data. We have some first implementation there. The next thing we're going to be thinking about is filtering for event names or event props, things like that. And then moving on to visualization of funnels. So those are some of the additional features and improvements that we'll be talking about in the next two milestones, 16.8 and 16.9, as we get closer then to GA. So 16.8, this is already kicked off, or will be kicking off rather in December. 16.7 just kicked off. So the theme, I haven't come up with a nifty theme for this one yet, but some of the objectives that we're looking for are evaluating any remaining AI experiment ideas. I'm working towards that Q4 OKR. Releasing our proof of concept or MVC of an AI related feature around that space of just show me the data and I want to learn another query language. And then some improvements to the built-in dashboards for usability. So we can start picking off, I think, some of the items in the single stat enhancements. We've already done some around making large numbers more readable in single stats. We could also tackle line charts and tables. We've already added units for some of the things like session length, but we could probably add some others for the single stats. Adding time frame over which a stat is displayed so that you don't have to look back and forth between the filter and the chart itself. Some other things. So we can get in here and start to make some issues and refine those of what's going to make it easier for users to use these single stats themselves. So those are the big objectives, and I'll start to create issues and drop them into the 16.8 milestone today and tomorrow so that we can do some refinement on those, start to figure out, make sure that we understand the problem, rather have a good sense of the solution space and can start to refine on those. And then looking ahead a little bit into themes and objectives for 16.9, milestone theme around 16.9 as we're getting closer to GA is that we're ready to sell. So some fulfillment related work to be ready for GA. That is a confidential epic, so I'm not going to click into it. But then closing out also the things that are left in the first GA release. There's going to be some more scalability, reliability, logging, monitoring type of work there. But we're going to try to keep that really scoped down to just what is required for the GA. Again, not pulling in necessarily those quality of life or bug fixes that aren't necessarily or that aren't required. We can do those without holding back the GA release. We can also do those as we get ready for it. So that's just a quick preview of what's coming in 16.8 and 16.9. If you have questions, let me know. Comment on the video or leave me a message in Slack. Thanks.